Welcome to our debut episode of Flick Filter. I'm your host, DJ Tate.
And I'm King Boom Baladi. We are believers who review the latest movies and TV shows.
And today we are doing Marvel's latest installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was basically an origin story for Captain Marvel in the MCU. So this was the first time we saw Captain Marvel in this movie. It was just so trippy because it was like we were trying to figure stuff out while she was trying to figure stuff out.
That's true. It was kind of weird. I think it wasn't, as far as story-wise, that part wasn't clear.
It wasn't meant to be because they were trying to swerve some people so you didn't know it was because we went in going thinking the scrolls were bad. Like we were thinking the scrolls were bad and then they didn't.
Yeah, then they just kind of flip it on you.
Right.
And then the way that they flipped it on you, I didn't like that. To be honest, I didn't like it. It was a little corny. It was corny.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give them this though, but the alien costumes look really good. I believe that they were aliens. They were kind of nasty, kind of ugly. They were green.
The CGI looked good when they were changing into other people.
So
and then the color.
The color
contrast. It was very dark. Seeing how this was a space movie, there was Guardians of the Galaxy,
very colorful,
and Thor Ragnarok, very colorful.
Yeah.
And then you go to this, which was very gloomy, dark.
It was dark. It was kind of sepia. I think what they were trying to do was go for like almost like a Western scene, like in the very end of the movie when she was facing off that other dude that trained her up. It was almost like the classic standoff. But of course, they ended that real fast,
Yeah, the way they ended that, yeah. But with humor, their humor was off.
The humor was very off.
Humor was very off. I chuckled. That's about as much as you got out of me.
Well, I thought it was funny, but I didn't want to laugh in that movie. I felt like that movie should have been serious. I think Marvel made a mistake by making it too funny.
They always do that though, They always try to make it light humor or whatever. But I feel like it's different because these jokes they just weren't. Like if you think of, let's say, Thor Ragnarok, which was a very funny film. I cracked up in that film. And then you go to this. If I get a funny part, I want to crack up. And if I don't crack up, it's just like, could have done without
it. Why did you do the joke?
Right. Let's talk about the actor's performance. Brie Larson. Say what you want about Brie Larson, whether you like her or you don't like her. She still did a great job. I'll have to say, she did a very great job.
She did a good job. To me, it wasn't anything special. It wasn't outstanding, but it was good. It was okay, just like the movie.
I really dug how Captain Marvel and Nick Fury were. I dug that chemistry.
Yeah, they had a good dynamic. I agree there. They definitely had a good dynamic. I liked how they would play off of each other, how they would joke with each other, and their chemistry was really cool, especially showing Samuel L. Jackson just coming of age and stuff like that. And Samuel L. Jackson.
You kind of ripped him a new one yesterday.
Did I?
Because you were like, oh, he's so tough. He's so.
Okay, look, it wasn't his performance. It was just the fact that he went super soft for a cat. Like seriously, this guy. I mean, we went through it. He has a backstory. We went through his backstory that he was in wars, and then he started being a spy, and then now he's doing spy stuff for spies. There's a lot. That's pretty deep there. By that point, you're like probably the toughest person on the planet, and then you get soft for a cat. I'm just saying it did not make sense.
For me, it didn't bother me because, of course, you're not an animal person. I am. I mean, that didn't really bother me until a certain part of the movie where, the cat does something and then he gets scared of the cat and then all of a sudden he starts playing with the cat again. Then I'm like, why aren't you okay? It's obviously you should be freaked out a little bit more, but then he kind of played it off as if he forgot, that certain thing. So I think he did good as always. How about Ben Mendelsohn? I usually don't like his characters. He was in Robin Hood, he was in Ready Player One, and I usually don't like his characters. And this one I actually enjoyed his character for once. So I think he did an excellent job.
I would go to say that Ben Mendelsohn was the best performance in the whole movie. He was very believable.
Right.
He had everything to be like the worst, like the best villain ever. It was like, this guy was undercover. He loved his people. He held his cover really well. He was excellent in combat.
And he did a certain part that Nick Fury caught on to, and he had the straightest of face the whole entire time. It was just like, and everybody in the theater,
excellent.
And everybody in the theater was cracking up like, people are cracking up about Ben Mendelsohn, and it's just like, dude, he usually doesn't play those kind of characters. So, big props to him.
Yeah. I just wish Marvel didn't turn him into a big joke when they went to Louisiana on that girls' ranch. He's like, hey guys, I'm actually good, but then they make him and his guy stupid. It's like, come on. That shouldn't have been joked about. That, once again, the humor was off.
The humor was off, yes, but I kind of liked how Ben Mendelsohn did it, though. It still was enjoyable type. It still was an enjoyable, because I'm used to hating this. Like, if you've seen some of his performances, you're like, I really don't like this character he's playing, even though, like, that's the point. But I'm actually like, I don't know what to feel like. I actually liked him.
I mean, the way they wrote the humor into it was supposed to go with the movie.
But yeah, that humor itself, I think it was just like the humor itself just was off instead of just. I think everybody else did a terrific job except for Ronan. Ronan really had a short part. I really expected him to have a bigger part. We didn't have much on the Kree world. We didn't have much with the Kree Force, Star Force. We didn't have much of them. I felt like we could have done a lot with them. And Agent Coulson, he was cool. It was good to see.
It was good seeing him again.
It was good seeing him again. But he was short too. But you can only fit so much. So
I guess so. But they could have done it a little bit better, especially if he's coming back. He was definitely a loved character.
Right. Let's talk about what we didn't like.
I like that they debuted Captain Marvel.
Yeah, you
talked
a lot about cons.
I'll there were pros. I'll pull them out. Captain Marvel, the strong Avenger. It's cool that we finally see Captain Marvel and that we know she's gonna have like a big role in Endgame, possibly a big role in Endgame. We'll see.
They gave us a taste of her power.
They gave us a taste.
Yeah. I really like the cat. I'm not even a cat person. I'm a dog person. But I really like the cat. I liked how it was used, and especially cats in the comics. The cat and Ben Mendelsohn. Those were like the characters I really cared for.
The cons, though, and I think you'll agree with me, the story of his eye.
I thought it was so stupid.
It started from the beginning. Like, the very first scene, he was got in a fight with a Skrull. The Skrull messed up his eye.
Right.
And we're like, oh crap, that's how he messed up his eye. But then we see how it really happens. I'm not gonna spoil it for these guys.
Right.
I mean, this is a spoilers edition. I'm not gonna spoil it for these guys, but it just wasn't consistent.
It just was like they mentioned it in Winter Soldier. Last time I trusted somebody, I lost it. When he lost it, it was like, really? That's how you lose lose your eye. Like,
The other thing I didn't like about it was Captain Marvel's power. Like when the Kree came and shot all of the nukes into the Earth, how they just blew up. They were like just average explosions. If you saw those bombs, those things were designed to blow up a planet. They just blew up like regular bombs. That was the main thing that kind of got me. I'm like, okay, so she is the strongest person on this planet. We see her go to outer space. She claps her hands. The energy goes across the whole screen. But when she's in the atmosphere, they just drop down these little baby bombs.
it's so crazy.
I mean, to me, it just fell short. It just fell short of showing Captain Marvel's true power.
There's a lot of issues.
That was like 2 issues, man. And why are you whispering so people can hear you?
So how do you rate this? Overall, I like the movie. It wasn't great, but it still wasn't fantastic. It wasn't its worst Marvel movie, but I think it was still an enjoyable movie. I say 3.5 out of 5.
Well, to wrap it up, I would say my rating of Captain Marvel, I would give it a 2.5. And this is the reason why, because I was expecting a lot out of this movie. Captain Marvel is supposed to be the strong Avenger. She was strong. Don't get me wrong, she was strong. But I feel like they could have went further with her strength. They could have shown something completely amazing like the universe usually does. We see Thor in Ragnarok just tear stuff up without his hammer. Just stuff like that, you know, and we didn't get that from Captain Marvel. So that's my rating. I'm giving it a 2.5. I would say go see it. It wasn't a bad movie. It was entertaining. I wouldn't say it was the best one, it wasn't the worst one, but it was just okay. So it's a guy at 2.5.
Thank you very much for tuning into our video. Please share and subscribe to this video if you like it. Please comment in the comments below what you like, what you didn't like, and hit the bell to enable alerts just so you know the next time we drop another video.
Also, let us know something, let us know what you want us to review. Yeah, we're open for ideas.
Why are you cracking up? Why are you cracking up?
Because the name is so stupid.
I told you! I told you, my boy! My boy! My boy!